Give us 1 second. Let me make sure everything is on the up and up. It should be coming in just a second. I'm listening on my phone. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Let me make sure everything is on the up and up. Yes, sir. Should be coming in just a second. There we go. All right, guys. We are all systems a go. What up? What up? What up? What's going on, everybody? I hope everybody's day is going well, man. We are in it. So today is June the 29th, 2023. It is 9:32 a.m. in the morning right now. So we kind of got started on time today. Just took a little minute for the broadcast to go live. We don't have any internet issues, but it take a little minute, man, with the software. Anywho, man, do we got a treat for y'all today? Yes, sir, man. I need for you guys right now, man, to go ahead, grab your pen, grab some paper, and sit back, and we're going to be listening to a very, very short version of the 48 Laws of Power. So this book was actually recommended by the one and only Kevin Samuels. This is one of the first books that he recommended young men to read. This book right here is actually extremely beneficial, not just for personal, but for business as well. And I think that this thing has a lot of gems for the guys out there that are looking to upgrade their level and understand what real power is. All right. So again, I need for y'all to go ahead and get your books and everything out. Go ahead and grab your pens and your paper, and we're gonna go ahead and go through some of the comments before we get into this thing. We got some comments up here. Okay, okay, okay. I'm gonna go a little bit out of order. Let's see. No, what? No, we're gonna keep it in order. We'll keep it in order. All right. Shout out to the Ultimate Red Pill channel, man, for always chiming. I appreciate you, bro. The Ultimate Red Pill channel said, "Oh, things are starting to get good now. You are about to change the game." Yeah. Oh, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna definitely get into it today, man. When I tell y'all, this is honestly this thing got some gems. This thing got some gems for young men out there, man. Melanie say, "OMG. I've been hearing about this, never got the chance to read it." Well, guess what? You about to get it. You about to get it today. You about to get it today. Let's get it. Funny viral clips. Teach us the game. I'm just going to sit and listen. Appreciation. Melanie said, in the wrong hands, this can be used for domination, or it could be used for protection. You know what I mean? Because when it comes to like lessons and stuff like this, also getting a better understanding for, how certain people move, and what you can do is you can make them feel like they have the upper level. You can make them feel like they are in control. You can make them feel like, you can make the manipulator feel like they are winning, but in all actuality, it's like, yo, listen, I already know the game. You know what I'm saying? I'll play along, but in the end, I'm going to get exactly what it is that I want, either from you or whatever the case may be. I'm telling you, man, this can actually be used for someone's benefit and not just for domination. All right. So I'm not putting this out here to do anything crazy, man. This is more like a protection. You know what I mean? Shalik said, "This is a must read for all young men because you have a lot of women out there that will take advantage of young men by playing on his emotions with her." Ooh, girl, you better be careful. You better be careful. You can get canceled for saying stuff like that. You can get canceled for no, but seriously though, hey, I love that, man. I love the way that you just put that because again, you can get canceled for all right, just making sure. I got to keep making sure, man, the audio is good. Anyway, um, let me read that again. This is a must read for all young men because you have a lot of women out there that will take advantage of a young man by playing on his emotions with her emotions. All facts, man. And if young guys aren't careful, they can be played. They can be played. They can be manipulated. Uh, they can be taken advantage of. You got to be careful, and not saying that all women operate this way, but a lot of them can and will use their emotions uh to to their advantage. So you just got to be careful about that, man. All right. Shout out to Shalik. I appreciate you, Shalik, for chiming in with us today. Stay alert, guys. See with the little alert. Shout out to Shalik, man. I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna have to stop, man. I don't know if you're an ATL. Well, no, you never been ATL, but I don't know if you're somewhere in Georgia still or not, man. I'm going to come down there, man. I'm getting back to shooting the movie, so I'm gonna have to use that spot that what I'm saying we used back in 2020, man, to finish shooting this thing. But yeah, I appreciate you though. Shay Barbara, she says, thanks because I've wanted to read this myself. Miss Barbara also said, now this is going to be the entire book. Oh, now is this going to be the entire book or just a breakdown from your perspective? This is going to be neither. It's not going to be a breakdown from my perspective, and it's not going to be the entire book. You just got to sit and wait. All right, sit, wait, and listen. We the People News, what's good, big baby? What up? What up? What's going on, man? All right, always good to see that on the screen, man. Shout out to We the People News, man. I appreciate y'all. The 48 Laws of Power is the ultimate guide for men, especially when it comes to business. It can be used when it comes to relationships, but I would tell me to men. I would tell men to be careful with that. Okay, I can respect that, man. I can definitely respect that, man. So the ultimate guide when it comes to men, especially when it comes to business, really, really good thing or really, really good lessons when it comes to business, man, when it comes to operating in business. All right. So anyway, guys, without further ado, let's get into it. Again, buckle up. Buckle up. We got some lessons, man, and I'm just gonna let them drop these doggone gems. All right. I'm about to let them drop these gems. It's about 28 minutes, and you should not miss a second of this. All right.
Law 1. Never outshine the master. Always make those above you feel comfortably superior. In your desire to please and impress them, do not go too far in displaying your talents, or you might accomplish the opposite, inspire fear and insecurity. Make your masters appear more brilliant than they are, and you will attain the heights of power.
Yes, indeed.
Law 2. Never put too much trust in friends.
And understand this, guys. I'm not going to continue to interrupt, but there are times when you can just see or tell if you're in control. All right, but in the beginning, you need to make them feel like they are in control.
Learn how to use enemies. Be wary of friends. They will betray you more quickly,
Oh, my bad, y'all.
for they are easily aroused to envy. They also become spoiled and tyrannical. But hire a former enemy, and he will be more loyal than a friend because he has more to prove. In fact, you have more to fear from friends than from enemies. If you have no enemies, find a way to make them.
Northeastern is empowering me to make an impact.
We are extremely early in this thing right now, and I'm telling you guys, all already just what those little things, those little gems that's been dropped, you can use those things to your advantage. Man, listen, y'all better take notes, man. A quick breakdown of a 10
Law
10-hour
3.
book.
Conceal your intentions. Keep people off balance and in the dark by never revealing the purpose behind your actions. If they have no clue what you are up to, they cannot prepare a defense. Guide them far enough down the wrong path, envelop them in enough smoke, and by the time they realize your intentions, it will be too late. Law 4. Always say less than necessary. When you are trying to impress people with words, the more you say, the more common you appear and the less in control. Even if you're saying something banal, it will seem original if you make it vague, open-ended, and sphinx-like. Powerful people impress and intimidate by saying less. The more you say, the more likely you are to say something foolish. Law 5. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Reputation is the cornerstone of power. Through reputation,
Stop right there. Reputation is a cornerstone of power. Perception is a mother, man. Perception is everything, gentlemen. Understand this. Your perception, the perception of you, is everything. And it is not hard to put a certain type of perception out there. It is not hard now that social media is out there to put a specific type of reputation out there for yourself. We have to clean up our social media, man. Clean that social media up. Pictures, videos, post. It's time to clean that mess up. All right. And the things that you put out there on social media is going to help build that reputation. It's going to help build your empire, what people think about you, what they see. And I promise you, over time, man, let me tell you something. Over time, you can change the freaking game, man. You are in control of these things. Those few people that may think less or whatever or disagree, their opinion does not matter. Because to most people that are seeing certain things each and every day, that's the perception. And it's so easy now to put things out there. You posting pictures beside expensive cars, posting pictures around expensive hotels, around expensive restaurants. Listen, it's not hard, guys. It is not hard. Dressing up and looking the part, taking those pictures, posting those things, those videos, being around, important people. It's not hard to build a reputation. It is not hard to put a certain type of perception out there to get people to believe whatever it is that you want them to believe.
alone, you can intimidate and win. Once it slips, however, You are vulnerable and will be attacked on all sides.
Absolutely.
Make your reputation unassailable.
Mm.
Always be alert to potential attacks and thwart them before they happen. Meanwhile, learn to destroy your enemies by opening holes in their own reputations. Then stand aside and let public opinion hang them. Law 6. Court attention at all cost. Everything is judged by its appearance. What is unseen counts for nothing. Never let yourself get lost in the crowd then, or buried in oblivion. Stand out. Be conspicuous at all cost. Make yourself a magnet of attention by appearing larger, more colorful, more mysterious than the bland and timid masses. Law 7. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. Use the wisdom, knowledge, and legwork of other people to further your own cause. Not only will such assistance save you valuable time and energy, it will give you a godlike aura of efficiency and speed. In the end, your helpers will be forgotten and you will be remembered. Never do yourself what others can do for you. Law 8. Make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. When you force the other person to act, you are the one in control.
Come on now.
It is always better to make your opponent come to you, abandoning his own plans in the process. Lure him with fabulous gains, then attack.
Fellas, instead of asking for her number, you give her yours. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. Y'all gonna learn.
Law 9. Win through your actions, never through argument. Any momentary triumph you think you have gained through argument is really a Pyrrhic victory. The resentment and ill will you stir up is stronger and lasts longer than any momentary change of opinion. It is much more powerful to get others to agree with you through your actions without saying a word. Demonstrate, do not explicate. Law 10. Infection. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. You can die from someone else's misery.
Absolutely.
Emotional states are as infectious as diseases.
Absolutely.
You may feel you are helping the drowning man, but you are only precipitating your own disaster. The unfortunate sometimes draw misfortune on themselves. They will also draw it on you. Associate with the happy and fortunate instead. Law 11. Learn to keep people dependent on you. To maintain your independence, you must always be needed and wanted. The more you are relied on, the more freedom you have. Make people depend on you for their happiness and prosperity, and you have nothing to fear. Never teach them enough so that they can do without you. Law 12. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. One sincere and honest move will cover over dozens of dishonest ones. Open-hearted gestures of honesty and generosity bring down the guard of even the most suspicious people. Once your selective honesty opens a hole in their armor, you can deceive and manipulate them at will. A timely gift, a Trojan horse, will serve the same purpose. Law 13. When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude. If you need to turn to an ally for help, do not bother to remind him of your past assistance and good deeds. He will find a way to ignore you. Instead, uncover something in your request or in your alliance with him that will benefit him and emphasize it out of all proportion. He will respond enthusiastically when he sees something to be gained for himself. Law
Again, man, you got to be really aware of what you are doing. All right. And it is so freaking important not to blow your cover while you are doing these things. So when they say, play dumb or whatever, like you got to really be able and be willing to play this thing out, man, to make people feel like, this is for their benefit. All right. It's going to be more beneficial for you than it is for me. Man, listen.
Law 14. Pose as a friend, work as a spy. Knowing about your rival is critical. Use spies to gather valuable information that will keep you a step ahead. Better still, play the spy yourself. In polite social encounters, learn to probe. Ask indirect questions to get people to reveal their weaknesses and intentions. There is no occasion that is not an opportunity for artful spying. Law 15. Crush your enemy totally. All great leaders since Moses have known that a feared enemy must be crushed completely. Sometimes they have learned this the hard way. If one ember is left alight, no matter how dimly it smolders, a fire will eventually break out. More is lost through stopping halfway than through total annihilation. The enemy will recover and will seek revenge. Crush him, not only in body, but in spirit. Law 16. Use absence to increase respect and honor. Too much circulation makes the price go down. The more you are seen and heard from, the more common you appear. If you are already established in a group, temporary withdrawal from it will make you more talked about, even more admired. You must learn when to leave, create value through scarcity. Law 17. Keep others in suspense. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. Humans are creatures of habit with an insatiable need to see familiarity in other people's actions. Your predictability gives them a sense of control. Turn the tables. Be deliberately unpredictable. Behavior that seems to have no consistency or purpose will keep them off balance, and they will wear themselves out trying to explain your moves. Taken to an extreme, this strategy can intimidate and terrorize. Law 18. Do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. The world is dangerous and enemies are everywhere. Everyone has to protect themselves. A fortress seems the safest, but isolation exposes you to more dangers than it protects you from. It cuts you off from valuable information. It makes you conspicuous and an easy target. Better to circulate among people, find allies, mingle. You are shielded from your enemies by the crowd. Law 19.
That's really, really interesting, man. Not just this last law, but the one before that. Guys, you got to be really, really careful about getting stuck in old habits. The way that you gain power from people is not continuing like a cycle or whatever. But you got to switch it up. You got to switch the game up. A person that normally and usually operates this way is changing. I love that.
Know who you are dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. There are many different kinds of people in the world, and you can never assume that everyone will react to your strategies in the same way.
Right.
Deceive or outmaneuver some people, and they will spend the rest of their lives seeking revenge. They are wolves in lamb's clothing. Choose your victims and opponents carefully then. Never offend or deceive the wrong person.
Let's talk about your customers.
That's interesting, man. That's interesting. We learning. We learning. Stick with it.
Law 20. Do not commit to anyone. It is the fool who always rushes to take sides. Do not commit to any side or cause but yourself. By maintaining your independence, you become the master of others, playing people against one another, making them pursue you. Law 21. Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark. No one likes feeling stupider than the next person. The trick then is to make your victims feel smart, and not just smart, but smarter than you are.
It is.
Once convinced of this, they will never suspect that you may have ulterior motives. Law 22. Use the surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power. When you are weaker, never fight for honor's sake. Choose surrender instead. Surrender gives you time to recover, time to torment and irritate your conqueror, time to wait for his power to wane. Do not give him the satisfaction of fighting and defeating you. Surrender first. By turning the other cheek, you infuriate and unsettle him. Make surrender a tool of power. Law 23. Concentrate your forces. Conserve your forces and energies by keeping them concentrated at their strongest point. You gain more by finding a rich mine and mining it deeper than by flitting from one shallow mine to another. Intensity defeats extensity every time. When looking for sources of power to elevate you, find the one key patron, the fat cow, who will give you milk for a long time to come. Law 24. Play the perfect courtier. The perfect courtier thrives in a world where everything revolves around power and political dexterity. He has mastered the art of indirection. He flatters, yields to superiors, and asserts power over others in the most oblique and graceful manner. Learn and apply the laws of courtiership, and there will be no limit to how far you can rise in the court.
All right, guys, we are halfway through this thing. 48 laws of power. We're at law 24. You need to ask yourself, what have I learned so far? Based on any friendship, any relationship, whether it be personal, whether it be business, in what ways can I use these laws to move forward? And also based on, again, the past, has it ever been a time where, if you feel like these things have been used on you to the advantage of other people, when you really go in and you dissect, how those friendships, relationships, again, whether it's personal or business, went, and now that you are gaining this information, thinking about, if I would have had this knowledge back then of how power is, like what could I have did different in order to ensure that victory? Just think about that, man. Keep listening, keep writing down, but I want you guys to make sure that you are taking this information, again, not saying to use this information to hurt anybody, but to protect yourself. Again, whether it's personal or whether it's business. In everyday life. Understanding when people are trying to use their power, use the things that they have as an advantage. This is just allowing you to be able to recognize when people do that.
Law 25. Recreate yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Do not accept the roles that society foists on you. Recreate yourself by forging a new identity, one that commands attention and never bores the audience. Be the master of your own image rather than letting others define it for you.
Mm-hmm.
Incorporate dramatic devices into your public gestures and actions. Your power will be enhanced and your character will seem larger than life. Law 26. Keep your hands clean. You must seem a paragon of civility and efficiency. Your hands are never soiled by mistakes and nasty deeds. Maintain such a spotless appearance by using others as unwitting pawns and screens to disguise your involvement. Law 27. Play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following. People have an overwhelming desire to believe in something.
Mm-hmm.
Become the focal point of such desire by offering them a cause, a new faith to follow. Keep your words vague but full of promise. Emphasize enthusiasm over rationality and clear thinking. Give your new disciples rituals to perform. Ask them to make sacrifices on your behalf. In the absence of organized religion and grand causes, your new belief system will bring you untold power. Law 28. Enter action with boldness. If you are unsure of a course of action, do not attempt it. Your doubts and hesitations will infect your execution. Timidity is dangerous. Better to enter with boldness. Any mistakes you commit through audacity are easily corrected with more audacity. Everyone admires the bold. No one honors the timid. Law 29. Plan all the way to the end. The ending is everything. Plan all the way to it, taking into account all the possible consequences, obstacles, and twists of fortune that might reverse your hard work and give the glory to others. By planning to the end, you will not be overwhelmed by circumstances, and you will know when to stop. Gently guide fortune and help determine the future by thinking far ahead. Law 30. Make your accomplishments seem effortless. Your actions must seem natural and executed with ease. All the toil and practice that go into them, and also all the clever tricks, must be concealed. When you act effortlessly, as if you could do much more. Avoid the temptation of revealing how hard you work. It only raises questions. Teach no one your tricks, or they will be used against you.
How does a funnel change anything, let alone how does a funnel change everything? Well, a funnel can change the car you drive, the
Interesting,
house you
man.
live
Very, very interesting, guys. Pay attention.
Law 31. Control the options. Get others to play with the cards you deal. The best deceptions are the ones that seem to give the other person a choice.
I ain't gonna cap. Some of these doggone pictures are a little disturbing.
Your victims feel they are in control, but are actually your puppets. Give people options that come out in your favor, whichever one they choose. Force them to make choices between the lesser of two evils, both of which serve your purpose. Put them on the horns of a dilemma. They are gored wherever they turn. Law 32. Play to people's fantasies. The truth is often avoided because it is ugly and unpleasant. Never appeal to truth and reality unless you are prepared for the anger that comes from disenchantment. Life is so harsh and distressing that people who can manufacture romance or conjure up fantasy are like oases in the desert. Everyone flocks to them. There is great power in tapping into the fantasies of the masses. Law 33. Discover each man's thumb screw. Everyone has a weakness, a gap in the castle wall. That weakness is usually an insecurity, an uncontrollable emotion or need. It can also be a small secret pleasure. Either way, once found, it is a thumbscrew you can turn to your advantage. Law 34. Be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one. The way you carry yourself will often determine how you are treated. In the long run, appearing vulgar or common will make people disrespect you. For a king respects himself and inspires the same sentiment in others. By acting regally and confident of your powers, you make yourself seem destined to wear a crown. Law 35. Master the art of timing. Never seem to be in a hurry. Hurrying betrays a lack of control over yourself and over time. Always seem patient, as if you know that everything will come to you eventually. Become a detective of the right moment. Sniff out the spirit of the times, the trends that will carry you to power. Learn to stand back when the time is not yet ripe, and to strike fiercely when it has reached fruition. Law 36. Disdain things you cannot have. Ignoring them is the best revenge. By acknowledging a petty problem, you give it existence and credibility. The more attention you pay an enemy, the stronger you make him. And a small mistake is often made worse and more visible when you try to fix it. It is sometimes best to leave things alone. If there is something you want but cannot have, show contempt for it. The less interest you reveal, the more superior you seem. Law 37. Create compelling spectacles. Striking imagery and grand symbolic gestures create the aura of power.
Bam. Y'all need to put a star by that. Make a flashcard. But no, y'all honestly need to put a star by this right here. All right, continue.
Everyone responds to them. Stage spectacles for those around you. Then, full of arresting visuals and radiant symbols that heighten your presence. Dazzled by appearances, no one will notice what you are really doing. Law 38. Think as you like, but behave like others. If you make a show of going against the times, flaunting your unconventional ideas and unorthodox ways, people will think that you only want attention and that you look down upon them. They will find a way to punish you for making them feel inferior. It is far safer to blend in and nurture the common touch. Share your originality only with tolerant friends and those who are sure to appreciate your uniqueness. Law 39. Stir up waters to catch fish. Anger and emotion are strategically counterproductive. You must always stay calm and objective. But if you can make your enemies angry while staying calm yourself, you gain a decided advantage. Put your enemies off balance. Find the chink in their vanity through which you can rattle them and you hold the strings. Law 40. Despise the free lunch. What is offered for free is dangerous. It usually involves either a trick or a hidden obligation. What has worth is worth paying for. By paying your own way, you stay clear of gratitude, guilt, and deceit. It is also often wise to pay the full price. There is no cutting corners with excellence. Be lavish with your money and keep it circulating, for generosity is a sign and a magnet for power. Law 41. Avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. What happens first always appears better and more original than what comes after. If you succeed a great man or have a famous parent, you will have to accomplish double their achievements to outshine them. Do not get lost in their shadow or stuck in a past not of your own making. Establish your own name and identity by changing course. Slay the overbearing father, disparage his legacy, and gain power by shining in your own way. Law 42. Strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. Trouble can often be traced to a single strong individual, the stirrer, the arrogant underling, the poisoner of goodwill. If you allow such people room to operate, others will succumb to their influence. Do not wait for the troubles they cause to multiply. Do not try to negotiate with them. They are irredeemable. Neutralize their influence by isolating or banishing them. Strike at the source of the trouble, and the sheep will scatter.
I decided to try out a Casper mattress, and let me tell you guys.
Man, listen, when I tell y'all, so many gems are being dropped right now. We're at 42. We got
Law 43.
43. We got 5
Work on the hearts and minds of others. Coercion creates a reaction that will eventually work against you. You must seduce others into wanting to move in your direction. A person you have seduced becomes your loyal pawn, and the way to seduce others is to operate on their individual psychologies and weaknesses. Soften up the resistant by working on their emotions, playing on what they hold dear and what they fear. Ignore the hearts and minds of others, and they will grow to hate you. Law 44. Disarm and infuriate with the mirror effect. The mirror reflects reality, but it is also the perfect tool for deception. When you mirror your enemies, doing exactly as they do, they cannot figure out your strategy. The mirror effect mocks and humiliates them, making them overreact. By holding up a mirror to their psyches, you seduce them with the illusion that you share their values. By holding up a mirror to their actions, you teach them a lesson. Few can resist the power of the mirror effect. Law 45. Preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once. Everyone understands the need for change in the abstract, but on the day-to-day level, people are creatures of habit. Too much innovation is traumatic and will lead to revolt. If you are new to a position of power or an outsider trying to build a power base, make a show of respecting the old ways of doing things. If change is necessary, make it feel like a gentle improvement on the past. Law 46. Never appear too perfect. Appearing better than others is always dangerous, but most dangerous of all is to appear to have no faults or weaknesses. Envy creates silent enemies. It is smart to occasionally display defects and admit to harmless vices in order to deflect envy and appear more human and approachable. Only gods and the dead can seem perfect with impunity. Law 47.
All right, guys,
Do
we're
not
almost
go
there.
past the mark you aimed for. In victory, learn when to stop. The moment of victory is often the moment of greatest peril. In the heat of victory, arrogance and overconfidence can push you past the goal you had aimed for, and by going too far, you make more enemies than you defeat. Do not allow success to go to your head. There is no substitute for strategy and careful planning. Set a goal, and when you reach it, stop. Law 48.
Here we go.
Assume
The last law. Pay attention.
formlessness. By taking a shape, By having a visible plan, you open yourself to attack. Instead of taking a form for your enemy to grasp, keep yourself adaptable and on the move. Accept the fact that nothing is certain and no law is fixed. The best way to protect yourself is to be as fluid and formless as water. Never bet on stability or lasting order. Everything changes.
Everything changes. So every single last law, understand this. Those things can change at any moment because people change. People change, thought process. This is why awareness is key. So, if you're in a business transaction or whatever and things are not going a specific type of way that you want it to go, then it may require you to pivot during that process. That's why, he was basically saying being being like water, being able to maneuver, being able to transition at any moment, not allowing yourself to be fixated on this is how I'm going to move. All right. If you honestly want to be in control when it comes to power, then you have to be basically just like water, man. Constant change. Shout out to Melanie. I appreciate you, Mel. I appreciate you. This again, guys, I think this is extremely beneficial for, like one of the comments said earlier, for young men that are, going out into the world. Understand this, man. The world is a very, very different place than it was 5, 10, 15 years ago. All right. People are, or they can be, or they can use some of these tactics to get ahead in life, to get one up on you. So the reason why, I went ahead and let these lessons, these laws play out for you guys is because I want you to gain a better understanding for how power works. How power works, how power works for other people, how power can work for you, and just getting everyone, or giving everyone the opportunity to see this thing and listen to it firsthand. So so you'll be able to recognize, hey, I actually seen or I heard this one time. And it's better to be aware and know what's going on than to be like the person that took their blue pill or whatever, or to sit there and continue to go through life clueless. My job is to provide as much information as possible to help you guys level up, help you guys recognize things, recognize patterns, recognize, again, if somebody is trying to play you, recognize if somebody is trying to use what they have to one up you. That's it, man. I just wanted to make sure that I provided you guys with this information. And no, we're not going to do the entire 10-hour audiobook or the 10-hour video that's on YouTube. It's like 10 plus hours, to be honest with you. But I wanted to make sure that I gave you guys a little bit of game, man, before we continue to go through and break down these Kevin Samuel videos and try to be a better version of ourselves each and every day. So again, there's going to be a lot of different things that we're going to be putting out there, man, like things like this, important lessons that men need to learn each and every day. Take these things with you, man, and use them. Use these things as tools. Use these things as life lessons, being able to pick up on when people are using these tactics. Very, very important, man. Honestly, something that I learned at a very, very young age, and I am extremely thankful because of that. And listen, I am aware of a lot of different things. I'm aware of how people move. I'm aware of patterns. I'm aware of the things that people say because I tell you what, man, you sit back and you listen to someone long enough, like you said, man, they'll eventually tell on themselves in some way, shape, form, or fashion, either through the things that they say or through their actions, their body language. All of these things are ways to learn who a person is and how they operate, which is why I can honestly say I've never, ever, ever been played. Never have and never will be. All right. Everything I've already seen that thing coming a million miles out. A million miles out, I already know what's up, whether it comes to business or personal. Shout out to, my family that raised me. Shout out to the environment that I was in. I will always be one of those guys that understand the game, respect the game, and not allow the game to get one up over me. Ever. Never have, never will, man. And hopefully this gave you guys some insight on how it is that you should be moving, how it is that you should be using these things to your advantage. Well, how it is that you should not be allowing anybody to use these things to their advantage and continue to move on a day-to-day basis, man. Moving more towards your goals in life. All right. Anyway, man, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this video right here, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, man. Thanks for all the comments that were dropped, the likes. I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.